What's up, guys, and welcome to another EBFG TV match review. I'm joined, as always, by Brian. My name's Colton. Brian, Sounders lose 4-2 to the Portland Timbers yesterday. What do you think?
It was rough. Aside from my personal things that were going on, which you'll see in my vlog thing that'll be going up today also, that first half was maybe the worst first half I've ever seen us play. Or not just first half, the worst half. Just complete disaster from start to finish. I'm not even going to go into too much detail about it, but probably the worst defending I've ever seen. I mean, just everyone in every position from the midfield, actually just every position, screw it. It was a mess. Second half, however, brilliant. We came out flying. We scored those 2 goals. The section got hype again. Everyone started to believe. Fell short in the end, couldn't do it, but we at least we made it look a little more respectable, which at that point, I was happy with. I didn't think we were going to come back and do it, but yeah, not our best.
Yeah, it was something. I don't really know the right word to use for it. It was a disaster. It was a nightmare. It was kind of all of the bad dreams you have the night before Derby Day coming true at once.
Yeah.
It was just like after every goal, I'm sitting there and I'm like, maybe it's offsides, maybe someone was fouled, maybe there's no way that's a goal, and everyone was. And credit to Stefan Fry for keeping it at 4-0, because I feel like it could have been a lot worse.
Oh, it could have been.
Sometimes
he made some huge saves.
Yeah, he made some fantastic saves in that first half to keep it 4-0 and to make sure we went into the locker room with a little bit of hope at least. But yeah, it's like a bad dream. It's really bizarre. It's like it didn't happen, but it did, and it's just super weird. It's hard to find players who you can say put in a great performance in that first half. But yeah, the second half was much better. We scored 2 goals pretty early. At one point, I said it on Twitter. I was like, don't get my hopes up. Don't I don't want to get crushed like this. But no, we definitely made it a more respectable scoreline in the end. Which I think is good for team morale, even though dropping the 3 points like that is never good for team morale, really.
No, I mean, yeah, of all the games this season, that was the one we needed at least a point in the most. And it just, especially after, the run of form we've been on, everyone's been so hype about everything. We were undefeated under Schmetzer, which we have, maybe we jinxed ourselves a little bit. Me and you both
yeah, possibly
mentioned that several times. I think even in the match preview, we said something about being undefeated under him still. And I guess it had to happen eventually. We're not going to go undefeated forever under Schmetzer. But this would certainly not have been the game that I picked to end that streak.
Yeah, it's kind of bad timing almost. Me and you were talking about it earlier. If a game like this happens against a lot of teams, there's a lot of anger, but maybe not as much vitriol behind the anger. But I mean, to happen in Portland, to happen when you're in the middle of this playoff race, you're trying to stay in contention for the Cascadia Cup. It's not good, and it's gross, and I still feel pretty horrible about it. But you got to move on. The good thing is we don't play for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So maybe the team can kind of regroup. Hopefully, Clint Dempsey can get healthy if that's even an option. And where do we go from here with where do we go from here for the rest of the season?
I don't know. I mean, kind of like you were mentioning, it does depend on whether or not we'll be able to get Dempsey back. I haven't heard a whole lot of updates on that. I don't know if you have yet, but yeah. So his availability will kind of determine how our lineups are going to look. I was not particularly impressed with his replacement in the first half, who came out at halftime, and we looked a lot better. Obviously, Torres was a huge part of that too. Certainly, moving forward, I would like to see him be a major, major piece of our defense. Assuming he's fully match fit now, I want to see him in there 90 minutes every single game, just destroying people the way he did in that second half, because that was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. It was a bright spot on a very dark day, as I also said on Twitter yesterday. Yeah, I don't know if he got called up to the national team for the World Cup qualifiers. I'm hoping not, so he can kind of rest up and get some training up in Seattle. And so yeah, maybe we'll see him start that San Jose game, which I'm pretty sure is almost the exact same fixture that he got hurt in last year. So that would definitely be interesting. Yeah, it would be interesting for his first start back in MLS to be in San Jose, which is right back where he got hurt. But yeah, Torres looked great. We looked better in the second half. If we played both halves like that, we probably win the game, but we didn't, and we got to move on from that. So we seem to be talking about it a lot. Now we're 4 points back of Portland. Is it possible? Is the dream still alive?
It's very much possible still. I mean, we have a game in hand, so win that and you're a point back. Our destiny's not in our own hands anymore, which is never the greatest feeling. Yeah. But I mean, it's MLS. Anything can happen at any time. Valeri could go down injured or something, or Dempsey could come back. I'm not wishing injuries on Valeri, to be clear.
We are wishing Dempsey comes back, though. So yes, please come.
Definitely, yeah. Please come back, Dempsey. But no, I mean, anything can happen. Portland gets a unlucky couple bounces or something, drops some points. We're right back in it. So I'm not writing it off just yet. I think the promise that we showed in the second half, reminded us of what this team can do when they put their minds to it. And if they keep playing like that, putting that sort of effort, yeah, playoffs are definitely a possibility. Are they certainty? No. We're gonna have to work our behinds off to get there still. But no, I believe we can do it.
I think we can too. Brian Schmetzer has said a lot in his post-game press conferences since he became coach that this is a very committed group. This is a very committed team. They're committed. Even his halftime speech, according to Brad Evans, he basically said, "Play for the badge or I'm pulling you off the field." So that's a very encouraging sign to me that this group wants to make the playoffs, that this group wants to win. So yeah, I definitely think it's a possibility. The good news is Portland's next game is in Dallas. So I'm not sure if it's this weekend or next weekend when we play San Jose, but so the good news is they have to travel quite a bit of ways, and if it is this weekend, it'll be without some of their international stars. So maybe Portland drops points on the road. I've never rooted for FC Dallas, but maybe I will a little bit.
Suddenly we're both fans.
Yeah, suddenly I'm a little bit of an FC Dallas soft spot. But yeah, so it sucks that our destiny isn't in our own hands, but it is good to know that the dream is still alive. It may be on life support, but it's definitely a possibility. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching EBFG TV. Sorry, it's a little bit of a more somber video after that game yesterday. But yeah, thanks for watching EBFG TV. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you guys later.